Okay, just repeat after me. All you gotta do is repeat after me. Appreciate what you have. Appreciate what you have. Appreciate what you have. Look at the watch. Let the watch sing on your wrist. Let the watch sing you a lullaby. Let it put you to sleep. You gotta really appreciate what you have, because if you don't, you're always gonna look for the next big thing. And sometimes the next big thing in your life, let's use the example of a watch. I don't know why, just some random example. Sometimes this great new thing you get is just redundant and you don't need it. So I urge you to go to Bruce Williams' watch channel. He's talking about a new Seiko that's coming out in June. It's going to sell like hotcakes according to his sources, and I know his sources are good. It's a Seiko SPB077, which I've been looking at for the last few months. It's kind of like a supercharged Sumo, you know, sapphire, all that stuff. Probably lacquered in some delicious, shiny polish Diashield. And I found out from looking at his channel today that it's also called the SBDC 061. Only costs you 1,100 bucks, no biggie. Appreciate what you have. Appreciate what you have. I don't know if that watch is going to do anything more to my collection. I mean, I have the Orient Saturation Diver. I've got the Seiko SBDC 051, which honestly, if I just had that and alternated it with this, pretty good life, man. Pretty simple life. I got the Blue Ocean, the Transocean Blue. When those days you want some blue in your life. Honestly, if I just had those three watches, not a bad life. And just use the Sumo as a beater, not a bad life. But of course, I have more watches, you know. I have other watches, the two Seiko Tunas, quartz watches. If I didn't love the way those watches looked, I'd probably flip them. I would just have 4 watches in my collection. Appreciate what you have. Appreciate what you have. You know, Bruce, he might get that new Seiko and he might send it to me and let me just borrow it and check it out. Maybe that will be enough. Maybe I'll just own it for a week. I'll review it on this channel. Thank you, Bruce, if that really does come to fruition. Thank you, even if it doesn't. Just the thought of it. So, you know, maybe I just need to have it for a week, or maybe I'll fall in love with it and buy it. I don't know. I don't know. But this is what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about why I believe I was successful in losing close to 40 pounds over the last almost 5 months. On May 18th, I'll be have been on this diet for 5 months exactly, and I've only had one cheat meal. The cheat meal I had was at my stepfather's funeral. I had the cheat meal, I think, on April 24th, I believe, somewhere around there. That was my only cheat meal in the last 5 months. And but here's the thing, my diet in my head has felt very simple. I mean, I went off sugar and gluten. That's it. People would ask me, what'd you do? Well, I went off sugar and gluten. Very simple. Simplicity is what makes it work. And in my head, I say to myself, oh, you're just off sugar and gluten. But you know what? That simplicity is an illusion. It's actually been more than sugar and gluten. I started eliminating ingredients one by one, gradually. It reminds me of an analogy I heard a couple months ago. If you pluck a feather off of a chicken, one feather at a time, chicken's got no feathers. No one really noticed it was happening because it was just one feather at a time. Well, check this out, man. I didn't just go off sugar and gluten. I went off corn. I went off beans. I went off rice. I went off lentils. I went off soy. I went off tofu. I stopped eating cheese. What else did I stop? Oh, I stopped eating potatoes. I do eat a sweet potato once a week. Anything else I forgot? Oh, I stopped eating quinoa. Quinoa. I stopped eating that. And honestly, it's kind of a limited diet. There's a lot of restraint. But you know, the samurai warriors, what makes them elite warriors is their ability to exercise restraint. And so maybe that's a good thing. Maybe the fact that I plucked one feather at a time, I didn't get overwhelmed with the restraint required to be on this program. But I'll tell you what, man, the diet's very limited. I eat eggs. I eat non-fat plain yogurt with protein powder. I eat salads, broccoli, fish, occasional chicken breast, walnuts, almonds, an occasional apple, some citrus, some berries. You get it. And when I'm hungry, I'll poach a couple of eggs. And it's pretty restrained. And you know what's funny is I haven't been very disciplined in having my cheat meals. I actually need to have more cheat meals because you don't want to go crazy and go have what's called a case of recidivism, where you start eating everything every day. So it's Mother's Day soon. My wife and I will be having Indian food, rice biryani, tikka masala. I'm sure I'll have a 1,000-calorie meal there. I'm taking my wife out in 3 weeks. One of my students, he is a grill chef at the Hook and Plow in Hermosa Beach, and we're going to get a tomahawk. A tomahawk is a 36-ounce ribeye. It costs $100. It's not just a 36-ounce ribeye. It's drowning in blue cheese, butter, and au jus sauce, and it's going to be crazy. We're going to share it, man. It's $100. My father-in-law told me it's cheap. He says the tomahawk steaks in his neighborhood in Long Beach, it costs $250 to $300. So I guess it's going to be cheap. I might not get it though. My student warned me. They sell out. People want that tomahawk, man. I feel like Ahab, man, getting the white whale, man, going to get a tomahawk. And you know, it's really weird when you're on a diet like this. A cheat meal really takes over your inner world. It's like buying a Seiko SPB 077. I already know on my birthday what I'm going to have. I already know on New Year's Eve I'm going to make a sandwich on sourdough bread with salami and roast beef and spicy mustard and multi-cheeses and chocolate cake, blah, 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 blah. So I'm kind of at a dangerous point in my weight loss because I'm at the point now where I'm pretty lean and I'm not losing weight like I used to. And I talked to Ted, who's the guy who started me on this whole diet. He's a former United States Marine, and he's the executive chef at SpaceX. And I said to him, hey man, should I just like maintain where I'm at right now, or should I keep losing? And he said, McMahon, you keep losing. Don't get complacent. Don't get yourself in a rut. Don't be happy with being a little bit under 210. Get under 200. Suffer more. Do some more cardio. And so I'm going to take his advice. I think I want to take this to its logical conclusion. I got a magnetic resistance stationary bike yesterday, so I'm going to do that on my off days when I'm not doing my kettlebell workouts, which is good. I don't want to be doing kettlebells every day. They really do break your body down. And he's right. I should not get complacent. I want to take this to its logical conclusion. I really do want to get down to 200, 199, 195, something like that. So I got another 8 pounds to go, something like that. I don't want to get complacent. You know, sometimes in life, you got to take the journey all the way to its end course. You know, for 3 years, I wanted to get a Seiko MM300, and I would always talk myself out of it. And then finally, I pulled the trigger about a year ago, and I got one. And there were certain things I liked about it, but I put it on my wrist, and it kind of disappeared on me. So I flipped it, and but I'm glad I got it. I mean, sometimes you got to get stuff out of your system, and I feel that way about the weight loss. If I get down to 199 or something like that, and I find that it's just too prohibitive, it's just too much, then maybe I'll let my weight go back up to 208 or something like that. And but one thing I'm confident about, I'll always be off gluten and sugar. You know, I told you this before, that the neuropathy pain in my foot is gone, 100% gone. So clearly my chemistry changed. Any metabolic issues I had that might have made me pre-diabetic, those appear to be gone. In fact, once my weight gets down to 200, I'm going to get my blood work done. I'm going to check my cholesterol, all that stuff. I want to check my specs. And so I'm writing a book about this whole weight loss thing. I've been writing it since I started it. It's called How to Kill Your Inner Fat Man. And you know, I like the book a lot. I think it's the best book I ever wrote, but it's hard to find a publisher. I think publishing is really tough right now. And self-publishing is an option, but I don't know how to I want to market it. I don't want to just have it for vanity. I think it's got a lot of good stuff in it that people would find helpful and entertaining. So that's it, man. That is my dietary situation. That's my watch situation. I got to do my kettlebell workout now, ladies and gentlemen. And until next time, I'm out.